morning and good evening. Parminder here. Welcome to SAP S4HANA Simple Logistics Training. I hope you are able to hear me clearly and you can also see my screen. Can someone confirm quickly?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you and see the screen.
Thank you. Okay. So as usual, I will quickly cover what we have done in our last session and then we'll proceed ahead from there. So we were continuing our journey on Fiori. And in our journey on Fiori, in our last session, we have gone through the concept of Fiori Designer. So first we have discussed actually that how the business groups would be linked with each other, how the different business group would be linking with the catalog, and how the combination of catalog and business group would be going into a role. And once a role has been assigned, how the different user would be able to see the different catalogs and applications. So our problem statement was when we have added a standard SAP role to the user got access to a lot of catalogs and a lot of applications, which we don't want. So we want to restrict it. So that's what we wanted to do. And that's what we said that we would be able to do it with the help of Fiori Designer. Before going into the Fiori Designer, we have also discussed about how the roles and authorizations would be there if we are using a SAP S4 HANA system with both GUI and Fiori, and if we are only using with Fiori, how the concept of backend technical catalog works. That also we have discussed. Then we jumped into our Fiori Designer. So we went into the transaction code /n/UI2 FLPD underscore cust. We created our one of the transport which we have created, and then we assign the transport first in our designer so that all the changes which we are doing would be associated and linked with the designer. Would be linked with the transport which can be sent further to the quality system and the production system. We then went ahead into the designer and we discussed that how designer works, how you would be able to see the catalogs, how you would be able to see the groups. So what we have done here, we have created first a catalog by using a standard reference of the catalog. So we use a standard catalog, and with the standard catalog, we created our new catalog by copying it. Then we added more applications into that catalog. We added one of the application which we have created for a standard transaction code VA01. That application we have added. Then one of the application we created in the catalog by taking it a reference from the another catalog, and we also changed the name of the application which is displayed on the top. So that naming changes also we have done it. So once we have multiple application in the catalog, we went ahead and we created a business group. In business group, we combined it multiple applications from the catalog and assigned to the business group. And then post that, we have also created a role through PFCG transaction. In the role, we have added the business groups we have created and the catalogs from which the business group is actually having a linkage to the application. So once we have done that, we have seen our screen and we say that our screen got simplified and we were having only few applications which we wanted for the user, a simpler screen and a linear authorization access, only the required things what user wants, that we would be able to achieve it through Fiori Designer by creating catalogs business group and creating a role and assigning it to a user ID. The next thing we have done is that I have discussed about the project lifecycle with Fiori, that once you are in the Fiori project, what are the things you would be doing it, how a business user would be coming up with the requirements and how you would decode these requirements into the requirement of Fiori applications using a Fiori library, and then using all the technical stuffs which we have discussed, identifying the OData services, UI5 services, communicating with the security consultant, communicating with the basis consultant, and then getting a role assigned to yourself first, exploring it, showing it to the business, then preparing a final list of Fiori applications, discussing with the business what kind of org structure they are having, what kind of group of people they have, and who would be doing what role, or who would be accessing what transaction and Fiori applications. And then you would be preparing your authorization matrix. And now this time your authorization matrix would be having a application which would be grouped together at the catalog levels and at the business group level. And then you would be having a role which would be defining which catalog and business group access would be having to that role. Okay, and finally those roles would be assigned to your business users, and they would be able to access the Fiori applications through the launchpad. So this is what we have discussed till our yesterday session. I will take a quick pause to check if anyone has any questions before we start our today's session. You can please go ahead and ask. If you don't have any questions, we'll quickly proceed ahead. We'll move ahead, and then we are going to the next topics of the Fiori, which we need to cover. So the next topic which I want to cover first is your theme designer. So this is the next topic which we are going to cover is a theme designer. So we have seen Launchpad. From the Launchpad, we will be able to access the application that we have seen. We have also seen the Fiori designer. From Fiori designer, you would be able to create tiles. You would be able to customize your catalogs, business group. That stuff you would be able to do it. Now the next thing which SAP provides is a theme designer. Now with the theme designer, you would be able to change this Launchpad themes. So when we have gone into the Launchpad, we have seen under this user icon, we are having a settings, right? And under the settings, we are having multiple SAP standard themes. The blue themes, dark black themes, multiple themes are there. Okay, so through the theme designer, what you can do, you can customize and you can create your own custom theme. So theme designer, creating this custom theme is also called your branding. So you can do the branding of your Fiori as per your requirement, as per your business requirement. So you must have seen that, you know, that most of the companies have their brands, they have their logos, and they are the different colors are there in the logos. And if you go to their website, on the website also you find that the same kind of color theme they are using it. So if you just try to go through Indigo, you will see that their logo is basically blue and white, right? And if you want to go there in their website, there also you will see their logo, and their website design also you would be seeing is in the theme of blue and white. Okay, so the same thing they follow in their websites also. So the same branding they actually try to follow in all of the places, in their banners, in their dress codes. So company spends millions of rupees to create those brandings. Okay, so when it comes to the ERP tool, companies also want that their theme, their branding should be appear on their web browser applications of the Fiori. Okay, It should be the blue, or some companies is having a logos in the red and white. So they want to put the branding of red and white, and they want to put their brand logo. They want to put the brand logo on their Fiori pages. Okay, so the brand logo need to be added. So these all things we can manage it through Theme Designer. So at the high level, what kind of functionalities or what kind of functions would be available in the Theme Designer, and why we are covering this topic for this training, so that as a functional consultant, your Fiori designers would not be front-ending your business. Your technical consultant would not be front-ending your business. It would be the functional consultant who would be front-ending the business. So business many times asks this question that there is a SAP logo there. Can I replace this logo? Can I replace this screen colors? Can I replace the fonts? Okay, can I do these kind of changes? So these all kind of changes can be quickly done through the theme designer. So you should be aware about the capabilities. So you can put your business logos through the theme designer. You can change your background colors, your tile colors, your fonts, font color. Okay, those all things you would be able to do and change through the theme designer. A specific pictures need to be added in the background. So those all things we would be able to change it through the theme designer, and then user would be able to select and change to the adaptive theme. It is also possible that from the back end you would be able to put that theme to all of the users. So a basis team, when they create a user, they would be also be able to provide a standard customized theme which has been created to all of the users, or user can also select and change the theme and go to the customized theme which has been created. So that is the thing which would be happening through the theme designer. So I will show you theme designer now, but before we go ahead there, just take a quick pause to check if you guys have any question.
Yeah, Param, have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, when you say like all the theme designer, the font and everything, the Fiori person will be working on this, right? When we give them the specifications.
Yes, yes. So your Fiori consultants would be doing this customization, and you need to tell them what kind of things need to be getting changed from the theme perspective.
Yeah, another one question is, so will not be able to change it, right?
Sorry, who will not be able to change it?
The end user.
End user would be able to adapt it. So when we have seen in the settings, there are the multiple themes are available, right? Blue, dark, and then there is also a theme available. The custom theme will come here, which you will create, and end user would be selecting this custom theme. If you want to go back to this kind of SAP standard theme, he would be able to go back from the settings.
So that's just for his personal settings.
Personalized settings, yes. End user would not be able to change logos and all these things, but end user would be able to personalize theme which is available, the custom themes which you have created and standard themes which has been provided by SAP. He would be able to switch between those themes.
Yeah, obviously it won't be the logos or any disclaimers that they have in the page. They won't be able to change those, I think, right?
Yes, right, right.
Yeah, okay, that's okay.
User specific?
Sorry, your voice got break. Can you please repeat?
I am saying, is it user ID specific?
Themes are not user ID specific. Theme is your client specific. Okay, but at the user ID level, user would be able to select between the themes which is available. But whatever the theme you are creating it would be at the client level. You can create a multiple themes and user would be able to select one of themes. Selection of the themes would be there at the user ID level, and creation of the theme which you have been created would be applicable for full client. Any other question, guys? Okay, if you don't have any other question, we'll quickly move ahead. And now we would be going into the system, and I will quickly show you that how this theme designer looks and how it is easy and quick to change the things by using a theme designer. So I would be logging into our system. Okay, so I will again log into our SAP logon part. I will log in with my ID. So basically the transaction code which we need to use for this theme designer is UI5/theme designer. So I'll put the note here /n/UI5/n theme designer. So this is the transaction code we need to put, and this transaction code again will be opening in a web browser. We need to provide a user ID and password again here. So what is the first step we are doing here? We are going as the first step, we need to log in. Theme designer. Use cheat code from GUI, or if you have a directly link from your basis team, you can also use direct link to log into the theme designer. So when we are in the theme designer, so theme designer looks like this. So we have already logged in. So what we are going to do here, we will go here, create new theme. Okay. So when we are going to create a new theme, system shows what should be the base theme. So this is the all SAP themes which SAP has created. Okay. So we will be selecting this SAP theme as a base theme. And then we will be giving a theme ID. I will give the Sastrageek theme. Then I will also give title Sastrageek theme, and then we'll create the theme. So basically it is copying it, okay, the basic themes which we are having, and then it is trying to load the theme where basically we would be able to change the theme from here. Okay, so this is basically at the left hand side our navigation of the existing Fiori will open, And at the right hand side, you will see that you would be able to do the quick changes. In your case, what can happen is that Z My Launchpad application I have already created, so it is appearing here. It will also ask you to create the application. In the application, you need to give the name, any name you can give it, and then you need to give the URL of the Fiori. So what you need to do for that thing, to show the URL of the Fiori, you can go to your Fiori, and this URL basically you can copy it and provide it in your theme designer. So that step will come. Basically, you can provide that. So this is how I have provided. I have created application Gmail Launchpad, and then I have provided this URL. Okay. Now here, the first thing which company wants is to change the logo. So how you can change the logo? On the right hand side itself, you are having your company logo. Okay, so you can just select image of the logo. So I already have a logo for my company, which is Sastrageek. I will use this logo. Select it, click it OK. And now the logo will come here. It is taking some time to upload it, but it will come here. Let me refresh it. Let me again try to put it. So if you want to see how the original looks like this, and the preview would be looking like. So you can see the logo is appearing here now. Now this is the brand color. Okay, so right now the brand color is blue, right? So we'll try to match with our brand color. Okay, so our brand color is this combination of these two color. So we'll try to see how we can change that brand color. So I'm going to put some color which is here, okay, to match my theme. So I'm selecting here. So this dot you can move to select in this page to select a specific color. It is little slow. So you can see that as soon as I have selected my brand, you would see that the different logos color and this colors of your button has been changed. These color also has been changed as per your branding theme. I will click on OK. Then if I want to change the base color, so base color I will try to put a little bit greenish and yellow. So I will come here. So this works a little slow, so you need to be a little bit patient about this. So this is the color which we have selected. Okay, so I have selected this color as a green. Logo has been selected and this color has been changed. So if you will click it here, it will be showing all of the text in this color, and the background color, it would be as we have specified. You can specify any color as requirement. Okay, so you can also do a lot of changes here. You can change your tile colors, background of the tile color, you can change it. Application backgrounds, you can change it. So multiple things you can change it. So first one is the quick one. Then you can also go to the expert theming. In expert theming, all of the classes would be available, and you would be able to select the class and what you want to change it. So let's say here you can do a search. You want to change the things related to a tile. Okay, so from here you would be able to change the tile border colors. You would be able to change it. So right now it is transparent. If you want to put some another colors, you would be able to do it from here. Let's say the border color, you want to give it as a red. So you would be able to change from here. Tile hover background, whenever the hover comes, in what it should come. SAP tile text color. So SAP tile text color, if you want to change, right now it is in black. If you want to change into these kind of colors, that also you would be able to do. So now our this colors has been changed as required. Okay, so this is the quick options which you would be able to do it and do the changes. There are the more options available. There's a CSS sheets are available. Basically here we can go ahead and do the coding also to do the changes. So whatever the things can be quickly changed from here, it can be changed. If there is something else need to be changed which cannot be done through this navigation which has been provided through the CSS coding, you can also code it, and based on the code the things can be changed. So your so this is the basically part of your theme. Within the Fiori also we have a specialized people on the theme building, so they know the coding on the CSS, how to do the CSS coding. They are masters in that, and then based on that, whatever the themes are required, they would be able to do it. If any coding is required, definitely effort would be more, but these kind of small changes which I have shown, these can be done very quickly. Okay, so you can see from here how the originally it looks and how it would be looking after the changes which we have applied. Now from here, if you want to save the theme, you can go here, you can click on save and build. When you will click on save and build, this theme would appear in your user settings. Okay, this theme will appear in your user settings. It will take a little bit of time to save this theme. By the time it is saving, we will be going into our home screen. Here, I need to refresh it so that whenever the new themes comes up, it comes into the place. So here, we will be going into the settings, and in settings, we'll be going into the appearance. In appearance, so our Z Sastrageek has still not appeared. I think it's still saving. It's still building. So once it will publish it, then it will appear it here. It seems it got stuck. Let me quickly refresh this. And by the time here also, I will go out. I will sign out, and again I will sign in. It's taking huge amount of time. Still it's working. Okay, I can quickly show this. This is also a custom theme, Z Parminder, which we have created earlier. So I can quickly show you if I go to this theme and save it. This is also kind of a custom theme we have created it. So you can see here, your logo is appearing here. Okay, and the whole look and feel of the Fiori has been changed. Okay, the same kind of theming has been put it here also, the green, and this is basically another color. Only the thing is tile color has not been changed. Okay, once this has been, this part of publishing would get completed, you would again see this kind of custom theme, which user would be able to adopt it. So this is how at the high level you should be knowing a functionality, that there is something called Theme Designer is available, which will help you to change the user experience much more, to create new themes, to add a lot of colors to it. The basic problems was with GUI is that it's a blue screen. It's a gray and blue screen which every user see every time they see it. And now Fiori is coming with a lot of colors, whatever the colors you want to put it, you can put it. You can also create 3 or 4 different themes for your business, and then user would be able to select one of them. That also can be done. At the background also, if you want to put some picture or something else, you would be able to do it. I will take a quick pause to check if we have any question. If anyone has any question before we move ahead to the next topic.
It didn't ask for a transport, Parminder.
Yeah, it would be linked to the transport. At the back end, there is a different concept of the transport. Basically, all of the changes which you are doing in the theme designer, the same way we have done in the Fiori designer, the things can be done as a localized changes, or things can be linked to the transport. The same options are also available with the theme designer, where you can change the local changes, or it can be linked to the transport also. By the time this has been saved now, let's quickly check if it is appearing now. I will refresh it and then we'll check it. Still not appear, but it will appear. It's a standard functionality which works. Any other question, guys?
So once it is saved, we can delete later on, is it, if you want to delete, or yeah, if you want to delete the theme?
Yes, if you want to delete the theme, you would be able to do it.
Okay.
Anyhow, we are not doing any changes to the standard themes which has been provided. The standard themes are always available. We are just trying to add some more themes. Okay, any other question, guys, before we jump into another topic? Okay, if you don't have any other question, I would be jumping into another topic, which I want to show you is basically your query browser. the analytics which is available. So before we go ahead there, I would quickly mention the steps which we have done for the theme designer. So we'll need to log into theme designer. Okay, can log into the GUI. We can use this cheat code /n UI5 theme designer from GUI. And once we go to this cheat code, we need to create custom new theme, provide theme ID and description, create application, provide application name. Application name we have given Z Launchpad. And then what we have done, we need to provide URL of Fiori in application. And then you would be able to do the change add logo of company, change brand colors, change tile text, and then we need to go to save and build. With save and build, your theme would be available. Once you will do the save and build, theme would be available. These are the steps which we have done it. Once you are completed with this, in here you would be able to see that what is this actually theme, what kind of basic colors has been used. You would be able to check it from here. You would be able to edit it, you would be able to delete it, you can rename it. There would be also be options. This can be, the themes can be exported and send it to the another system with the export and import mechanisms. Okay, guys. So if you're good with that, let's now discuss the next thing. So the next thing which we are going to discuss is Fiori analytics. So Fiori analytics would be our continuous topic, which we are going to cover it. Okay, so but here what we are going to cover is at the high level so that you guys can understand when we talk about a Fiori analytics, what kind of things would be available under Fiori analytics as a standard from Fiori. When we are going further, for each of the module, we'll be going through the different Fiori applications. Then we will be focusing on the functional features of the Fiori applications. Right now, we will be talking about the standard features of a Fiori application, irrespective to any module functionalities. So there are the multiple ways Fiori analytics has been given. We would be having a Fiori analytical apps, which will be having a graphs included into it. A lot of your procurement analytical apps are available. Okay, which will be having a single graph. Then we will be having a key performance indicator analytical apps. So key performance indicator are basically the applications which can be modified by using this KPI tool. So what is KPI? KPI is key performance indicator, which will be having a standard key performance. Let's say for the sales, we are having a open sales order or rejected sales orders, or the volume of the sales orders, volume of the invoices we have done. Those are the key performance indicator. But what do we mean here? Key performance analytical apps. Key performance analytical is a framework has been given by SAP. And by using this framework, your analytical consultants, your Fiori analytics would be a separate kind of consultant. So within the Fiori also you have a separate consultant. For specialized Fiori theme would be a one consultant. There would be a Fiori developers who would be working to develop the Fiori applications on the web ID, and there would be a specific consultants who would be working on the Fiori analytics only. So analytics is again a separate topic which would be having a separate Fiori consultant. So they can do some kind of quick building of the analytical applications by using existing OData service or CDS view. Okay, they would be able to quickly create analytical applications by putting a graph without any coding. So for this, no coding has been done. They just use the framework. In the framework, we are having a create KPI, create evaluations, create drill down, and link all of these three things, and an analytical application would be readily available. The example of these applications we'll see in the sales order, where your issue handling in sales order fulfillment is kind of a KPI analytical applications. Going from 1709 and 1809, earlier your analytical applications and your KPI and your operational applications was different. Now SAP is also working to merge your operation plus analytics. So these are still analytical applications. First, it will be showing you some analysis, and then it would be having a links to take actions like change sales order, create sales order. These kind of actions would be taken. So that kind of another analytics has been provided. Then one analytics has been provided through query browser. Query browser is kind of a BI functionality which was available as Design Studio. So that it is also called, this query browser is also called embedded analytics. It is also called embedded BI within SAP S/4HANA, which comes free of license. You would be able to go ahead, you would be able to use it, and you would be able to create hundreds of reportings, thousands of reportings, guys, thousands of reportings. You would be able to generate it through query browsers without writing a single line of code. And who would be able to do it? Your functional consultant would be able to do it. Even we now prefer to give this kind of access to your core users. Core users also would be able to do it. So this query browser, I will explain a little bit in detail, but it would be working on basically on CDS views. And in the CDS views, it would be using the CDS views. And from the CDS views, your Design Studio has been provided. And by using a Design Studio, you would be able to play around with your data. So the functionality works a little bit in the similar way. If you have used some kind of BI tools, if you have used Lumira, or if you have used your the third-party BI tools are also available. I forgot the name. But the different BI tools is having a functionality where basically user would be able to play around with the data, and user would be able to create multiple graphs, and then he would be able to save his analysis in his own tile. So this is the functionality which would be available within the Fiori analytics. So in this chapter, we'll be going through these kind of different applications. when we are discussing order to cash, procure to pay, those kind of sessions we are having, we will be going into this. This would be common for all modules. All modules, your reporting requirement, your 80 to 90% reporting requirements without doing any developments, you would be able to fulfill through the query browser. Okay, so this is a common thing. So when we are discussing the different modules, we'll not come back to the query browser. Query browser, we are going to discuss it now in detail, so that any modules we are discussing, you want to jump into what kind of reportings can be generated out of the box from SAP S/4HANA, you can do some self-exploration through query browser. I will take a quick pause. If you have any question on the Fiori analytics, you can ask it now before I jump into the query browser in detail.
Yeah, I had one question, Parminder, here. I'm not sure, like, it will be covered in query browser. So currently in our ECC, functional consultants, we still do queries like without coding, like SQ00, and like we create info sets and then we attach it to the query. So wherein we go for different tables and join the fields, and we develop a report, query report. So, okay, and if there is any coding required, then if it is not possible through functional, like our regular query, then it goes for development. So when we say query browser in ECC, that query part, functional query part, like SQ00 will not be there, or?
Okay. Let me answer this question in a little bit elaborative way. A few more slides here. Okay, guys. So the thing we want to discuss is that we are having a ECC queries, which we already write in the ECC. So what would be the difference between these ECC queries where we basically merge or combine table compared to query browser, which I have said work on the CDS views. Will these queries would be still available with S/4HANA? Yes, these queries are still available. You can go to the transaction, you can still create your queries. Query browser is also available through S/4HANA. Query browser, you can only access it through your Fiori. And ECC queries, you can access it either a Fiori browser transaction, or you can access through the GUI. But the query browser is only accessible through the Fiori. Now the question comes of what are the differences between the ECC query and the query browser. First difference is the technical difference. So you need to understand that when you are combining a tables, where the processing of combining the tables are happening, the processing of combining the tables is happening in your application layer. Okay, here basically we'll be using a CDS view. What CDS view you would be using it? CDS views would be using a methodology of push down of the code, which will be pushing down your code into HANA. So whatever the merging of the tables of the view or the views which has been done would be done at the HANA database level to use the capability of HANA database. So this would be having a much high performance compared to your low performance of your queries. Secondly, these queries is basically designed, you can share your experiences, but my experiences, basically it is consultants. I never see that even the core users would be familiar or would be interested the kind of way it has been provided, the core users are not able to use it because it's kind of a typical functionalities which we are basically the handling a interface is not that easy and simple. Okay, so it's only consultants. And if you want to give that query to your actually to your uh, end users or the core users, you need to link it with the transaction code, and then that transaction code you need to assign to the end user. So there's a lot of works required for the consultants which need to be done, and the transaction code need to be needed. Any kind of logic you need to put it, business logic you need to put it, calculations, summation, again coding which will be required, where basically you would be going to create your own report. Okay, and even though you would give it this functionality to the user, even let's say your end users are good, you train them, you can merge this table and you can use it, still it is just a ALV report. User is not able to play freely with the data. User is not able to generate analytics. These things are not available with this ECC queries. Although with the query browser, it is more focused for your end users, that how easily end users or key users would be able to, how easily your end users and key users would be able to get the information, get the analytics, how easy it would be for them. Okay, so in this one, this functionality, query browser doesn't provide you to merge the tables. You would not be able to merge the tables. Table merging is not available. You would not be able to do any kind of calculation. Any kind of submissions you will not be able to do. But the functionality is focused to give a user experience. Okay, where existing CDS view, all of your logic, combining your tables, doing your summation, any calculation would be there sitting in the CDS view, and there are thousands of CDS view which has been provided to generate reporting out of the box from SAP. You can create your own CDS view, but there are the thousands of CDS view which is available out of the box. Your user experience has been focused here, where the CDS view would be used, play around of the data would be given. With one CDS view, a user can generate 100 kind of different reports. User would be able to generate multiple analytical graphs to fulfill the analytical requirement. So ECC query is not an analytical tool. Query browser is an analytical tool, where analytics would be able to generate, play around with the data would be there. The tables would be already merged and given through the CDS view. The fields would be available. User would be able to select, I want to do the summation at the one field. I want to create a report with 4 fields, or I want to create my reports with 10 fields. I want to generate a graph with 2 fields, a pie chart or a line graph. That kind of things would be available with the query browser. Okay. So basically the functionality which has been given, the audience which has been targeted, okay, and the key deliverables of analytics which has been delivered through the query browser is actually totally different from your ECC queries. Now what we recommend, if you want to merge the tables, if you want to combine the tables, ECC query is not an ideal way to do it. The better way to do it by writing a CDS views. You can ask your ABAPer to write a CDS view, okay, or you can use, there are thousands of CDS views available. With each of the version release, SAP is increasing the number of CDS views, standard CDS views. You can use the standard CDS views, and or if there is any modification is required, you can, your ABAPer would be able to quickly copy the CDS view and change it. These are very low effort things which can be done within a couple of hours if any change in the CDS view is required. or if a new CDS view is required to be created by merging the couple of tables within a couple of hours of effort, your ABAPer would be able to do it. And the additional benefits would be the play around with the data, and the analytics would also be available on top of that. So that would be different between your ECC queries and the query browser.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, so now the next thing which you are going to do is the query browser. In the previous topic, I have already explained query browser, that how it would be. Let me just give you again an overview, and then we would be going ahead, jumping ahead into the Fiori to see that how the query browser works. So query browser, as I mentioned, work on the CDS views. So when the CDS views has been created, CDS view is work based on the annotations. Any CDS view which is created as per the annotations of the analytics, which means that it follows some of the standards which is required, some of the inputs and outputs which is required to generate a graph and analytics has been followed, and analytics annotation has been given. Those CDS view would be able to directly getting consumed into your query browser to generate the reportings. Okay, to generate the analytics and to generate the reportings. SAP provide, I don't remember the count, but somewhere around 700, between 1200 CDS views has been already provided by SAP, which you can use it to generate the reporting. So what kind of CDS views these are? These CDS view can be a view which is coming from a one table or a multiple table, where basically sales order related details can be given, sales order item details can be given, or sales volume can be given, which can be combination of the multiple tables. It can combine the multiple tables, or it can combine the multiple CDS views to generate that for you. Okay, so this CDS view is out of the box from SAP Analyticals, plus as per your requirement, your ABAP on HANA guy would be able to create the CDS view as per your requirement. It is very easy to create a CDS view for query browser. If you want to just change existing CDS view, or if you want to use the same source of data and you want to just add on, you want to just remove some fields, hide some fields, okay, change the name of these fields, that kind of things you want to do it, a new CDS view can be generated. But here the functionality has been given, that kind of small changes you would be able to do it without writing any code. So there is a separate application has been given to create a CDS view, which can be done by taking a reference to the existing CDS view. You would be able to do it without writing any code. Now the how CDS view work is basically once you will be selecting your any of the CDS view, you can only use a single CDS view. You would not be able to combine multiple CDS view from query browser. If multiple CDS view need to be combined together to generate reporting, you need to get it done through your ABAP on HANA consultant. So this will be your dashboard okay, which would be having multiple layers. Definitely 2 layers would be here. Here system shows you the measures. What is your measure? And here system shows you your attributes. Your sales org, company code, those can be the attributes, and then your quantity of sales order or amount of sales order, those would be your measures. So based on that here, based on the measure you are selecting and based on the attribute you are selecting, you would be able to generate grid kind of reporting, which can be easily downloaded into the Excel. And you would also be able to generate graphical kind of reportings. Or you can also do both in the same window. So that would be able to do it. And your analysis, you would be able to save as tile. That analysis, you would be able to save it as a tile. That is the functionality. We will see now how to do it through the query browser. Any question before I jump to the query browser? Okay, if you don't have any question, let me ask you the question. If you want to use a query browser application, you want to use your query browser application in the Launchpad, but it is not available in the Launchpad, what you will do? How you can make it available on the Launchpad? What steps you will take? What is the first thing you need to do it?
Add it in your business group from the catalog.
Okay, no, there's one more step before that. So you want to find a query browser application, okay, and the query browser application is not available in your Launchpad. What is the first step you will be taking?
I'll search query browser in home screen.
Correct, correct, very correct, awesome. You will be searching query browser in the Fiori library screen. First, you will search on the home screen. You don't find it, then you will be searching where? In Fiori library. So let me quickly show you. What would be the next step, guys?
Then
I go to all apps. For S4HANA, all apps. Here I search query, because this is the one you need to do it multiple times when you will be practicing in our server. That's why I'm reminding you. So here you find query browser. So what is the next thing you need to do it to make sure this application is available in your Launchpad?
Front-end services, back-end services, OData services activation.
Yes, right. So you need to check front-end services, back-end services, OData services in the implementation information. Okay, but that is the sequential flow I have shown to you. But what I mentioned there is that actually when you would be doing it, debugging or something, you need to go from down to up. Okay. So what was the last point in those sequence, in that sequence?
Role.
Role, exactly. So what you
And
need to do? So whatever you want to make some application work for you, you need to go from down to up. So down was role. So the first thing you need to do, copy this role, add it into your user ID, refresh your Launchpad, and try to see whether you see the application or not. If the application is you are not able to see, then you move backwards, then you check your OData services activated or not, UI5 services activated or not, front-end and back-end system would be activated or not. 90% of the case when you're working on 1909, in your system, if the basis has done a good job, or in the system which we provide, by adding a role to your user ID, your Fiori applications would be working 90% of the cases. So you just need to go into your Fiori library, copy this SAP BER employee, go to your go to your, okay, it got hanged, let it respond. Go to SU01 transaction, add that role. By any chance, if you see that SU01 transaction access is not there in the system which you are working, you can also go into the PFCG, go to that role and add user ID to that. In our system, PFCG would be definitely would be there with all of the users. So what I'm going to do, I'm quickly show you. Since I need to log in again. So SU01, you need to go, put your user ID, go to roles, and just add this role at the bottom. Don't add too many roles if you don't want to use it. Don't add too many roles. It seems it is not copied. No, copied. SAP BR employee. Okay, I would type. Okay, so once this role is added, you would be able to access the query browser application. The simple step you need to do it. Now let's go to the query browser application. So here, what you can do, you can search for your application. To make your search faster, it's always advisable that you select what you want to search. I want to search application. So now here I will type my query browser. So this is my query browser application. So you can see here, these are the view names. These are the CDS views which is available. Okay, multiple CDS views has been available. 764 is the exact count analytical queries which has been provided by SAP. Okay, so what we are going to do. Okay, so we were here that we need to go into the query browser. Within the query browser, you would see the multiple CDS views here. So these all your CDS views. Open right hand side, you see open for analysis. Okay, so this you can do your analysis by clicking on here. But first you need to select your CDS view. So you can simply type, let's say you want to search on sales. Okay, so based on the sales, you want to search what are the different CDS views available. So you see here sales order item query. Okay, so it shows you here the columns. Columns means the different fields which is there. So it shows that it has a 20 fields in this CDS view which has sales written to it. So it's doing a fuzzy search. So it's showing that this one sales order item query has a 20 fields where basically sales has been written. So that's why it has shown this into the top. Sales contract, sales order, sales volume. Okay, some of the Z queries are also available. Sales volume and open sales. So multiple things has been available. So let's say we go ahead into this one. So you can select it here. You can directly jump into the analysis by clicking on the right below in this icon, or you just want to see some definition of the this view. Okay, definition means what are the fields included here, which has been mentioned as a column. What are the different column available? What are the data elements for them? You would be able to check from here. Okay, that what are the different fields has been given is in this standard one. These are the annotations. So this shows that analytical annotations. So analytical query is true. So that need to be happens once your ABAP on HANA guys are also developing a CDS view. You need to tell them that develop a CDS view with the analytical query so that this can be used in the query browser. Okay, so this is just the technical details. What will be going in? Will be going in open for analysis. In open for analysis, exchange rate type M, which is by default standard one. Currency, I will put USD. And okay. So here you see the measures are there, multiple measures are there. So if you click it here, let me first explain you how to view this thing. So here you see dimensions. So these are your dimensions. Okay, in dimension we have two things. We have a measure. Measure are basically your calculated figures. These are the different measures are there, and you will always see all of the measures here, which means right now everywhere tick 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 is there. These measures are going where? Actually these measures you would be able to see here. So this is one of the measure, and there is a scroll bar here. So you need to go to the scroll bar to go into the right hand side. Apart from measure, year and month of creation is also there. That's why so many columns has been added. So in measures, you can also put these columns. Okay, if you want to add something in the columns. If you want to remove it, if you just want to remove it, just drag and drop. You can select it here and you can drop it back. Year and month is not required. So what will happen? Your Excel will update here. Now you can see the multiple options here, your sales value, your volume, your cancellation against your sales organization. So from where sales organization coming? Sales organization are in the rows. These are the rows. Okay. So if you want to add more rows, more different kind of rows, you can just drag and drop your attributes here. It would be added in the rows. Sales organization plus company code you want to see. You want to see your sales organization plus plant, sales organization plus material, sales organization plus sales order. The beauty is the aggregations are happening automatically. That's the beauty of the CDS views which has been generated. It would automatically do the aggregations. Right now, this net sales, net value quantity is aggregated at the sales org. If I will remove the sales org from here, and from here, let's say if I will put a material here, then this would be shown against the material. If I put both sales org plus material, then your measures would be aggregated based on these two combinations. So that you can do it from here. So that kind of play around you can do it from here. And then here, these icon shows you what kind of different things can happen. So right now, we are here, where basically we are able to see the grid. The another two views are available. You can see the graph from here. And if you want to see both on top graph and below grid, That kind of structure, if you want to see, that can happen into the multiple BI tools. So this kind of things you can find in Lumira. This kind of things you can find in Tableau. So that kind of embedded BI functionality is provided here, where this kind of play around with the data and to generate multiple reports, user would be able to do it. So you can generate your reports based on the one field. You can generate your report based on the 200 fields. You can generate this report at the high level of the company code. You want to see the information on the company code, you can see. Somebody say that I need company code, I need sales organization, I need plant, I also need material, I also need sales order, I also need item, I also need billing document. I need all of these things. You can add it, system will generate. So from the granular level of your document, which is your billing documents or the sales order documents, to the higher level at the company code level or at the sales org levels, you can generate the reports as per the user requirement. Whatever user requires, whatever kind of reports are required can be generated. You can change some kind of settings from here. If you want to change your graph type, you would be able to change from here. If you want to download it into the Excel format, you would be able to do from here. So this is a smaller view. Basically, a lot of space has been consumed here. Okay. If you want to put on a bigger view, you can just click on a full view page will come, which is more nice to view for the users. Then here we are having a filters. I want to see this information, but I want to only see for a particular material group. I want to see for my material group M001, or I want to see for the material starting from M. So these kind of things, these kind of filters, if you want to put it, you would be able to put filters also here. You can also click on here to show the filter bar on the top so that you can put the filters quickly. This icon is very important and useful. If you want to create your own tile, you would be able to do it from here. Okay, you have done your analysis. Now this analysis you are going to do it again, daily basis. Daily basis, you don't want to come select the CDS view and then select the parameters, generate the graph. That user don't want to do on daily basis. So once he has done the analysis, he can save this analysis, he can create his own tile. And this tile, when he will be clicking it, directly his analysis will open, what he has saved. Okay. So from here, also you can save the view and you would be able to see your different filters you would be able to save as. I will show you. Let me first take a screenshot of this and put it in our document, and then we'll proceed ahead. I will show you how to play around with this stuff. Okay, now we'll be moving ahead and we'll be seeing how to use this. I have shown you that navigation of this one. Now we will see how to play around with it. I have already done. The first thing I need to do is there's so many measures are there. I don't need that many measures. I just want to see open sales volume or total sales volume. I want to see only that thing I want to see. If you are having so many measures, your graphs would not look good. So if you go to the chart, you would see the multiple lines here. Okay, so this is the chart. Whenever you see chart, go into the maximize view. That is always better. So this is showing the net value. This is showing your sales volume, cancellations, profit margin, and each of your different sales organization has been shown here into the different colors. We'll see how to change the chart, how to make it more useful. But first, let's go and change this measures. So I want to control the measures. So measure, you will see they have not given a drag and drop here. You cannot drag and drop here. So from where you can change the measures? To change the measures, you need to go into the filters. Here in the filters, you are having a show filter bar. So whatever the things you want to get it shows on a filter bar, you can select it here. So these all are filters available. Multiple things SAP has given, which can be used in the filters. So I'm selecting it here, measures. In measures, when I do F4, system shows you the different measures here. So what I am interested for now, I just want to see my sales volume. Okay, I have selected my sales volume and I have clicked on OK. If you also want to put your specific sales organization, you can also put it here. If you want to put some another thing, that also multiple options are available. You can also search filters from here. What are the different fields are available? So you also have a field here for material. So here you can select the multiple materials, or you can also define the conditions. So you can define a condition in the key. Multiple parameters are available. You can define a between condition, that from this to this, the condition should be included. Or you can also define the exclude conditions, that some things need to be excluded, or any values in between need to be excluded. That also you can mention it here. You can also save your filters. Okay, so here on the left hand side you see standard here. There basically you can save your filters. So I am putting a filter G Sastrageek sales volume. I'm putting it as a set as a default. You can also make your filter as a public. You can also put it here, the local object or the transport request, which you need to use it, so that these filters can be transferred to the quality and the production system. So this is a new feature which has been added. Earlier this feature was not there in 1709. Later on it has been added, where basically you can also create a transport request to do these kind of changes, transport into the quality and production system. So I'm just saving it. And I'm clicking on go. So you can see that whatever the filters you will save, you can also save the multiple filters here that would be available, and you would be able to switch between the filters. Now it is only showing me sales volume. So if I go here, you can see this is showing me sales organization, and these are the sales volume. Grand total it is showing at the below. Okay, and this is the graph. Now my graph is available. It is showing me this is my sales volume, and these are the different sales organizations. Let me put it in a fuller. Okay, so now if you want to change this graph, you can go to the second settings, and you can go to the chart settings. So this is a column graph. You don't want it a column graph. You want it as a pie graph. You can select a pie graph here, and you can select OK. So now this will be showing a distribution in a pie chart. So you see here, the US one is having a highest one, and then all of the rest of the sales organization would be having a small contribution. Now you can start doing your analysis here. You can start playing around with the data from here. I'm going back to this grid. Now another user came, he said that I want more details. This is not sufficient for me. I also want my materials to be included here. He wants first to include material group. I have put it a material group here. So these are the material groups. You want to also add a material here. You want to see the reports based on the materials. So now your sales volume has been grouped together based on these ones. So finished goods in different materials for this particular sales organization. This is my sales volume. Okay. A user come, he said he also need a sales document. Sales document is basically this one. I also want to see my sales order. You can see here, if I scroll it to right, your sales document number is also available. If you also want to include the sales or document item, you can also include the item. Sales document item. Someone say that on not only the sales document, I also want to combine my billing information here. I also need a billing information wherever the billing document is there. So you can also select from here your billing item or billing document item. So let me select from here billing. So where is this is my billing document. I also want my billing document. Now the billing document would also be added. So you can see here, you can do the reporting at the granular level, or you can go it at the detailed level as much as you want to do. So billing documents level also has been added. So now all of the information you are having it here. If this need to be downloaded, single click, export to MS Excel. As soon as you click it, an Excel sheet has been generated for you. It is showing all of the data which you have selected. People also use that they download the Excel from here and they can also create the pivots from here. But now the pivots are not required because this sheet itself is a pivot. This screen itself is a pivot. You can do multiple pivots based on this. If you go to the analytics from here, analytics would be totally disturbed. Okay, you will see this kind of, which will not make any sense. So you need to save differently your analysis, the graphs and the Excel reporting. You need to save as a different analysis. Then only it will make sense for you. You can also see this one. We are basically on the top, the graph is there and the bottom spreadsheet is there. Okay, so I have shown you that how you can make a different kind of analysis from here. So we have done the sales volume analysis here. You can also include the date field here. So let me include the date field. Date, or let's include month. There is also month and year of billing is also available. So we can also include month and year of billing. Okay, so this is the special fields which has been created, which will be accumulating your data at particular month, and that accumulated data would be shown to you here. So this is not a standard field. This is accumulated fields created in CDS view. Now what I'm doing, I'm just removing all of the other dimension. I want to just see material. Now this is showing that the based on the month and year of billing in the different sales organization, how we have moved. Even I can remove my sales organization. And then here now I can change, I can create a trend line. If you want to save it as a trend line, you can go to the chart settings. Rather than pie, you can go to the line. And we can go to the graphs. I need to swap the axis. You can see that it's not showing the desired one. So what I need to do here, I need to go here and I need to swap axis. So now it is showing me the trend line for the sales volume. How the sales volume has moved. Now here it makes sense. In this graph, it will make sense to include different measures. So I'm going show filter bar. In measures, we have selected one. Now I say that I want to see my sales volume. I also want to see my profit margins. How my profit margin has moved. What is how my cost has been moved. If there is any cancellations are there, that also I want to see. So now I have added multiple filters. I need to click on go. Now this shows that how my sales volume. So if I'll select the sales volume, only this has been highlighted, is working between cancellations, profit margins, and net sales. So you can see the most of the things has happened in the month of initial month, which is shown, and then everything has been combined together. So this kind of things would be shown beautifully, and it would be making a lot of sense when we will be using them. When we'll be using them in the productive data, where a lot of data would be available. Then this would be making a huge amount of sense. The analytics, you would be able to do the comparison, and based on the comparison, you would be able to identify where the things happened wrong, where the things went wrong. So if you just want to compare from January 2020 to May 20, you can again go to the filters, and you can add the filter for your month and year of billing. This is my month of year of billing. So I'm putting a filter here. I'm selecting this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm excluding 2019. Go. So now you can see it's showing from January till May. Different lines it is showing. So this is a trend line which user need to show every time. You need to commit here. You need to show the trend line. You can also have a trend line based on the date-wise trend line. Also you can generate it. Year-wise trend line also you can generate it, and you can also generate the quarter-wise trend lines. So if I want to change this trend line to date, what I need to do? Oh, sorry, what I did. Oh, I clicked on the back. Sorry. So now my analysis would be lost because I have not saved my analysis. I need to again do my analysis. You can see I need to again do my analysis, but Good thing is that I created this filter and save it. So it would be having my filter saved. I will just click it here on go so that it uses my filter. Somehow this filter is not working. Let me check it. Again, I need to set it the filter. So what I was looking for, my net sales volume and net profit margin. So these two I have added it. Save and go. Okay, so now I want to put it rather than sales organization. I want to put on, let's say, billing date. This is my billing date. I put it my billing date here. And then I will remove my sales organization. Now I want to see my trend lines. So I will go into the chart, go to the chart settings, and I will go to the line. I need to swap the axis. This is system is showing a trend lines at how the two things has worked. Your net sales volume and net profit margin. Actually, all the things which we have done is only till 24 December 2019. After that, there is very few transactions out there. So the more transactions you have, the more beautiful graphs and more story it would be created. So what we need to do now, this analysis we need to save as a tile so that it would be available again. So what I want to give it here title, I will give the Sastrageek sales trend. You will see that whatever things you type at a title, it would be available here. In subtitle, we are giving sales volume and profit margins. That has come here. In description, I will give it. In description, I will give it. It is based on US dollar, USD we have generated. So that will come here. It shows me that which group you want to add it. We are adding it on my home only, and then we'll click on OK. Okay, now we are expecting that this should be added in our home page. So I'm right clicking on our logo and clicking on new tab to check whether this analysis is available. It's taking some time to load it.
Sorry, Parminder, how many tabs can be loaded at a time? Like addition of tabs?
We tried up to 10, 12 different tabs. Fiori doesn't restrict you.
Okay.
It doesn't have a limitation to 6 screens when you're using with the Fiori applications. But if you have opened your GUI application, GUI HTML application like VA01, that would be still, even though you're opening it through the Fiori, it would still have a restriction that you can open 6 screens.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, very good, wonderful, awesome. So we have our Z Sastrageek sales trend has been appearing it here. So let's click on that and let's see how it behaves. So our expectation is it should directly go to the design studio. Okay, so you can see that it's directly coming to the design studio. It has already, whatever the filters we have put it is already there. The date trend is there and system is showing the graph to us. No need to go to the CDS view, select that, and then user would be able to do the analysis directly from here. From here also you would be able to play the data, but the CDS view has been selected and the basic things which he would be like to see every day, that is already there. On top of that, you want to do some changes, you would be able to do. So from single CDS view, a day-to-day usage basis, the sales volume, minimum 5 to 6 different graphs and 3 or 4 different kind of reportings in the grid format can be generated, saved as a tile, which user can save it for himself and use it. So many CDS views are available, more than 700 guys. You should go try to explore it. Now, if you get any kind of requirement from the customers related to reporting, you can quickly go to the query browser by yourself first, try to analyze whether there are CDS views available which can fulfill the customer requirements, and then it would be able to quickly satisfy it. So we have in ECC developed so many custom reports which has so many performance issues, and it is again only the grid kind of formats and codings are required. Here everything can be avoided. So this is excellent stuff. This is a great and excellent stuff which has been provided by SAP, which need to be utilized. I have seen that still business is not able to utilize because even the consultant doesn't know this. So this can even given to directly to the end users if they are comfortable, and the key users we can directly give them. We just need to provide some basic training, and then most of the reporting requirements they would be able to get it fulfilled by themselves. From 1809, SAP has also launched here a jump to button to link your operations and the other things from this screen. So you can click it here into the jump to. And here you can actually jump to the multiple different kind of applications. Okay, so earlier what was happened, you are doing analytics from here, but if you want to do something else, if you want to do after analyzing, if you want to change a sales order, create a sales order, that kind of things you want to do, you need to open a new application. Okay, you need to go back into the home screen, search for application and open it. They have given it here basically where all the applications would be available, and you would be able to directly jump into a particular application if required. Still a lot of improvements is required. This should be showing only the relevant applications related to sales, but it is showing each and everything. So that kind of improvements still are required. At high level now, I hope that you would be able to understand that how to generate these kind of query browser, how query browser would be helping you to generate multiple reportings. You can go through the CDS view, finance, sales, production, manufacturing, procurement, multiple CDS views has been provided. Before I go ahead for the question and answer, one more thing I want to show you. Now, this is a thing where basically you would be seeing a lot of figures are there. Sales volume. So what is the sales volume? How do you know it? What logic SAP is using to put the sales volume? What is the profit margin? How it is calculating profit margin? How do you know it? So to know those kind of things, SAP has given SAP help. Very useful document, guys, for CDS view. If you don't have a system access and you want to deal with your client, you can quickly jump to the SAP help. So what you need to search SAP help portal 1909. Okay, so help.sap.com will open. You need to, we have gone through this portal before, guys. We have seen multiple kind of useful documentation from here earlier when we were having a discussion in the activate sessions. So here you need to select 1909, and now here you need to go to the product assistance in English. If you are comfortable in another language, German, you can select the German one. I am comfortable with English, so I will select that. Here you will be having a cross components. Within the cross component, you would be having, you need to come down. You would be having this CDS views and virtual data models. Then CDS view. Within the CDS view, you would be having multiple cross line of business CDS views or CDS views for sales, which we were looking at. Order and contract management CDS view. These are the different CDS views are available. Okay, sales billing. So we were doing a sales monitoring and analytics. Under this, we were at the sales volume CDS view. So here different cubes are available. Analytical sales volume cube is available here. Okay, so in this you can identify that what kind of answers would be provided. Net values for billing items, comparison based on the years, how many sales we have done in the last 12 months. These are the standard questions which every business has, that can be directly answered by with this default CDS view. And you can also go down, it will show you that what kind of parameters it is using, exchange rate type and currency you need to enter it, which we have entered. And these are the different measures. Okay, so what is your sales volume quantity? Sales volume quantity is the quantity of invoice items or debit memo items that have not been cancelled. That is your sales volume quantity. Okay, so you would be able to get more information. What are the CDS view available? What are the measures? What this measure is calculating? You would be able to get it. Complicated requirements, out of the box SAP, you will not get it, but the standard requirements which each and every business has, that definitely can be fulfilled. Now we'll take a quick pause to check, guys. If you have any question in query browser, you can ask it now. I have covered it in very detailed. If you still have any questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah, so I have a couple of questions. So now in this CDS views, if we don't find in like any measures in any of the CDS view, and if we have to combine like kind of two CDS view, then it is kind of a customization, right? With ABAP on HANA, guys.
Yes, then you need to ask them that these two CDS view, when you're writing a functional specification, please clearly write that these are the two CDS view you are referring to, and you want to combine them, and this is the new measure, and this is the calculation logic. That
Okay.
brief 2 or 3 page functional specification, if you will give it to ABAP on HANA, and the guy is good, he knows how to do ABAP on HANA, within a day, easily the requirements can be fulfilled.
Okay, thanks. And my second question was, so in that your analytical reports, like the previous one which you showed us, like one was like Excel based and one was Excel based, you can do the extract on the spreadsheet, the reports, similar grid. And similarly, there was one analytical reports also, graphical view. And suppose, yeah, user will have its own tile, he'll generate his own report and save it. But can we schedule a job so that if he wants it in every frequent intervals, should he go inside Fiori every time, or is there a way to schedule the job and extract it, even the graphical views, like in form of PDF or PPT?
So by out of the box, there is no functionality which can generate this PDF. These things it can generate into a PDF and then send it over an email. That are the things is not available. Okay, you need to get it developed. You need to get it developed. Technically, it's still possible to get it done, but effort would be required. So when we get these kind of requirement from business, our take on this is we try to make business understand that why we have gone through this model of the batch job and feeding these things on the emails to the users, especially if it is a higher management users,
Correct. Yeah.
because they are not using a system every day in and out. Okay, and they
Yeah.
need to use it on ad hoc basis. So what happens when they come to the GUI? As soon as they open the GUI, they forget what transaction code they need to do. They forget where exactly they need to click, which menu path they need to go. People forget. So people are not able to use the system. So that is the one of the major reason that the people, the higher management people who are not going to use the system day in, day out, we give them by creating these things, by creating a jobs. But now with the Fiori, the user interface is so easy. If the roles has been designed correctly, the query browser tiles which has been created is just in front. And as soon as somebody will open the Fiori application, if it is using after 2 months, the search functionality is there and he would be able to quickly click on the tile and get the information. It is much easier compared to GUI. An additional advantage is your emails are every time giving you a data of a certain point. Whenever you come to these things, this is always your live data. Okay, this is not a BI tools which is working with the lag of 1 day. This is not a BW tool which is working with the lag of 1 day. This is operational reporting. So this operational reporting is live. If
Yeah.
you come here and click it here, the advantage is you are seeing the live picture.
Yeah. It's more dynamic. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, thanks, Parminder. And one last question I had, so currently, if there is already a third-party kind of a tool, BI tool, with the client, and all the cubes and everything are built in, like all these dimensions, columns, rows, and everything. So is it easily transferable to Fiori Analytics?
If the development has been done with the traditional ABAP without
Uh,
CDS view, no.
no, it's not through ABAP. It's like a third-party BI tool like Cognos, which has kind of similar features, wherein dimensions, columns, rows, everything is set up there with cubes and all. So
Okay, personally, I don't know whether there is any tool which can convert those kind of views. That is also kind of a view. Whether that view automatically any tool is there which can convert them into the CDS view. Personally, I don't know.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay,
No.
I don't think there would be any tool, but you can search for it. Personally, I don't know any tool which can do a direct conversion. Most of the cases, the CDS views need to be written from scratch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks, Parminder. Yeah.
Sure.
Parminder, these fields are all standard fields, and if there are Z fields which have to be added as measures, that is something which would be additional thing, or with the table, those just get transferred when the tables are transferred.
So what need to be done here? All of the CDS view are will be having a capability to enhance them. Extensibility is there in all of these CDS view. So if I will go just one step back, so these CDS views are calling a data from a source CDS view. So if you just do the extensibility, and if you just add your Z fields into that source CDS view, then automatically it would be available here.
Okay.
So if we go here to see more details. Okay, so the technical name is not there. So let's say I copy this one, C sales volume analytics query. I copy this one and we go to SC11. And here I put this view and I just click on display.
No, view, you need to select view.
I need to select view, but the other thing, it is not copying it full. Okay. So this is the name actually. I was selecting the wrong thing. So if you go into the table and joins, so this is the DDL source. So this is basically getting it from this. So this is basically the source of the data from where you are getting it. So if you have done the extensibility, and if in this source of the data your Z fields has been added, then you would be able to get it directly in your existing CDS views with the extensibility feature.
Thanks, Parminder.
So once this query browser is done, I saw there is a transport request, right? So there is also a public button, right? So to assign this, do we assign the tile to user, or how do we assign it? Or do we give more access
Yeah,
to
so
user to build on it?
that's a question we have also asking SAP. I was expecting in 1909 we will get it, but I don't still see that feature. So what you have seen, the transport is for the filter. Okay, so that transport was there for the filter, not for the tile. Tile again, when we have created, is the same kind of tile. All of the places the function available in everywhere that anything which you open it, system will give you option to save as a tile. That is a user personalized tile.
Okay.
Okay, so this tile cannot be added it directly. So what you can do it, this can be done, but what you need to do, you need to go through the Fiori designer. In the Fiori designer, you need to select this particular CDS views. You need to feed that CDS view, and by using it, you need to create your own tile, and then you would be able to give it to the users. It need to be added into the catalog business group, but then by default, you need to be added. The function which we have seen it is a user specific. The transport where it get created is for the filters.
Okay.
So this way, when we create it, save as a tile, it doesn't have any transport. It is just into the my group. But that would be the good function and feature that for the consultants, because many business user would even not be able to do that stuff for initially to create this analysis and save for them. They need a spoon feeding. Even a consultant should create these kind of things, and it should be available directly in their launch pads. So if SAP gives that, that would be definitely helpful.
Parminder, here, one question I have, that is, you normally currently when we are using with UI. So in this case, whenever any query we develop, so we don't need any technical guy help, because directly we can join the tables, and as per their requirement we can develop the query and then we can submit. But currently in this scenario, it is being what I can see that CDS view has to be developed. So if any tables joining is required, then that has to be performed through CDS view. So then in this case, as a functional consultant, it's means dependency is getting created with for the with the technical help. Without technical help, then it will be quite difficult.
So you need to understand, we have discussed this topic in very detail. You need to understand the difference between the both of the tools. So your query is still available as for HANA. You want to do it, you do it. My personal experience, I have worked on more than 10 projects. This query is just a temporary thing. Whenever we want to deliver anything to end business user, we ended up developing ABAP reports for them. Okay, we don't give direct query access. Many businesses and companies doesn't allow to give the query transaction access to the end user because it impact your performance and it is not a recommended way. Okay, and the other thing, that query cannot give you the option which this tool is giving, to play around with the data and to generate analytics. That is the purpose of this tool. If for a consultant usage, you want to combine a couple of tables, get a quick report generated for yourself, you can still continue using your query tool. My experience is consultant level, you can use it, it's good. But for mass processing of multiple users, that is not a good tool even to use in ECC. If it is to be used by multiple users, rather than writing a query, we prefer to write a BAP report with proper selection screens and outputs, and then give it to end user. So as per me, your query tool in SAP is not a ECC, is not a ECC, or in S4HANA is not a end user tool. This can be your end user tool. Query browser can be your end user tool. Although there has been also been said, I have written the blog 3 years back, still waiting for that functionality. HANA has a functionality that virtual data models can be created in a graphical way. In a more better and efficient way, we created query in ECC. We can merge the table in HANA, but that is at the HANA database level. For CDS view, I have written the blogs that SAP is working on a graphical tool which can come in future, which would be able to replace your query things. Okay, where basically CDS analytical views itself, you would be able to combine the multiple tables in a graphical tool, and that graphical tool at the backend will be generating a code for you. But we are still waiting for it. I have not seen any progress, so don't know whether it will take 2 more years or 5 more years to get a CDS view generated, rather than writing a code, getting it generated through a graphical tool.
Even in Parvinder, when we are joining the tables in our SAP S4HANA or somewhere, the joining conditions matters a lot. If we are, that means when we are pulling the data through SQL by joining 3 or 4 different tables, if that joining conditions are properly not matched, it will give you some wrong output in the current SQL also.
Yeah, that's correct.
So the CDS view is always much better, because what we seen here, when we are pulling a data from CDS view, we are not doing any joining conditions here. It's already correctly joined and you are getting the correct data output.
Yeah, correct. And definitely it doesn't take that much of effort. CDS views are more simpler than ABAP tooling.
Correct.
Doesn't take that much of effort.
Yeah.
So guys, if you, we have already extended the time, but I want to complete this query browser, I want to show you one more thing so that we can complete this query browser chapter. And from today onwards, you can go ahead, guys, do the exploration in the query browser, try to identify what are the default things are available. If you don't have a system access as of now, I have shown you SAP help available for all of the CDS view. Please go through and explore that so that you are equipped and aware that what kind of standard reportings, which earlier we were avoiding the business requirements, saying no to them, can be given out of the box from SAP by using the CDS views. Now, the next thing I want to show to you that these CDS views, we can also generate it, not from the scratch, but we have seen that this is quite a complicated CDS view. If you want to just simplify it for an end user perspective, you cannot create a tile for him, but you can create a CDS view for him, which would be very simplified, which will be having 1 or 2 measures and only the fields which is required. Okay. And you can also change the fields. So that kind of things will actually at the back end would be creating a CDS view for you. So let's quickly go through that. So that option is available in query design. In query design, we are having a custom analytical query. I'm closing this analytical sales volume. I'm also closing this theme designer. I will open 2 windows of it. So here you can see all of the queries which is available and released. Everything is available here. And here you have an option to create it new, to copy it, delete it. So these kind of option has been given to you. So here, let's say I go and search sales. So sales order query, this is my sales volume analytics query. This is what we were working on, right? If I click on here, it will show me the technical details, that what data source it is using. So this is analytical sales volume. It will show me what are the field selections are there, what are the displays are available, what are the filters are available. So these things, if you want to change it, actually you are changing your CDS view. So rather than writing a code for it, this functionality has been given that by using this tool, you will be just doing it from selections, and at the backend system will write a code for you. So what we will try to do, we can also copy it, okay, and based on the copy, we would be able to generate it. Based on the copy, we would be able to copy it and do the changes. What I'm going to do here, I will just create a new. Okay, so it will ask the query name. I will give Sastrageek sales. It will also ask me the data source name. So data source name, we need to select it here, is iBilling document queue. Let me compare if it is the same data source. iBilling document item queue. Yes, so this is the one, iBilling document item cube. This is the source data I have selected. Okay, now I need to go into the field selections. So from here, you need to now select which fields you want to get it selected. There are 215 different fields are there. I don't want to select each and everything. So I'm just typing it here, sales. We are interested in sale district, sales document item, item category, type, employee, we are not using it, let's say, sales group, office, sales organization. So those are the parameters we are interested in. And we just want to see the sales volume, net amount, and sales volume quantity. These two measures we are interested in, not rest of the things. And few of the things related to billing. Billing document, year, month, billing document date. These are the few things we are interested. So we have selected the measure which we want out of this data source, and we have selected the fields which we want. Okay, so here you can select it. Right now there is nothing has been selected as a row. In display we will be putting by default what are the things need to come up in the row. These are the two measures would be available in this view. Okay, and this is the two input fields would be there, display currency and exchange rate. And these are the rest of the things which would be available. If you want to put something which should not be used as a filter, or if you want to remove, you can remove from here. If you want to hide it, you would be able to hide from here. If you want to switch off the filter, you would be able to do from Yeah, so it shows that what are the fields displayed, filter would be available here. Okay, now I will go to the next display. Now here you need to select which are the fields which you want to put in the display. So here there is also option that you would be override the labels. Okay, let's say sales organization is in display. Access is free for it. You want it put it in the row. Let me go back and check if that option is there to put into the row in the previous screen. Okay. As of now, it is not allowing me to put into the row. Okay, we'll see it later that how we can put it into the row. Let me do a save draft for it. Okay, so draft has been saved. Now let me go to the display. So generally this option access free is, we would be able to change it. Right now it is not showing as a changeable option. From here we can put default these things into a row or a column. If you want to put some sorting, ascending, descending, you can put it here. And then if you want to override, so let's say for your business, sales organization is not a sales organization. They call it as a sales department. So you can also override. So now this is actually sales organization, but for you, it would be displayed as a sales department. The label would be overwritten for this. So that kind of changes also you can make it from here. So now here you can see it's a sales department. It's visible as a sales department. Now you can also move up and down. Let's say the sales department you want to see little up, so you can also move up or down. Then you can go to the filters. So you can select that which field supports defining a filter. So here you can put some fixed values. If you want to put some fixed values for some fixed organization structure or anything else, you would be able to define it from here. Okay, if any fixed values is required, you would be able to put it here. So I'm putting it as a user input value, sales department and sales district also. I would put it as a user input value. You can put multiple selection allowed. If you want to put some default value, you can also put some default value from your side from here. Save draft. Before publishing it, we can preview it. Preview. So exchange rate type, we are using M. This is, we are using USD. Okay. So right now there is nothing in this rows. So I will select my sales department. You can see it is showing me the sales department now. I select the sales department, it's showing me this one. So it's a little bit simplified one compared to the earlier one. Okay, the filters also, you can check it. There are the filters also available, which you would be able to put it. So the two filters which we have added, that would be added at the front. When user would be coming into it, you would be getting those filters. So now this one is a little bit simplified for user, that he can quickly generate requirement reporting from this one. Okay, so you can also do one thing. You can get your data source CDS view generated, and the front display of the CDS view as a functional consultant you can generate. So data source CDS view can be generated by your ABAPer, and this CDS view you can generate. So actually when you would be publishing it, it is creating at the back end, it is creating a CDS view, creating your OData services, exposing it to the OData services, everything it would do. Now I will click on publish. So query has been published. So we'll go back to query browser to check how this query has been displayed. Let me go to the home page, and then we'll quickly jump into the query browser. Where is search? Search strange. No, it's coming. So here we want to search the query browser to check what we have generated. Suddenly system is a little bit slow, it's taking a little bit of time. So let it get loaded. By the time it is loading, if you guys have any questions from today's session, you can ask it now. We are actually going to, there is still one topic. Okay, so this is query browser is there. Let's quickly finish it. So what we have created is starting from ZZ1. The name was starting from ZZ1. So you can see ZZ1 sales, Sastrageek sales has been created. Whatever the definition we have created, the definition is available. Actually, at the backend, system has created a CDS view for us without doing any coding. So this field has been put it, annotation also. It is published to OData automatically, analytics query annotation to automatically. That has been done automatically for us. You can go for open for analysis from here. Okay, so we have completed our exercise where basically the query browser has been completed. Two small topics are still pending, KPI tiles and extensibility. So that will be covering next week. Then our Fiori would be completed and then we'll move ahead. Guys, before we close the session for today, any question or queries you have, you can ask it now. Any relevant, irrelevant question or queries, if you have, you can ask it.
So this query browser is part of like Fiori package itself, right? For a client, it is not kind of add-on or something like that within Fiori.
It is not an add-on, it's out of the box from starting itself. It was introduced in 1610. It is out of the box, and SAP is also putting good amount of efforts and innovations there to add more CDS views. So you will compare that in 1610, I think we started with some handful, 100 or 150 CDS views. And in 1909, we have 700 plus CDS views.
Okay, thanks.
Any other question, guys? Okay, guys, if you don't have any other question in this week, please go through the system. We have done a lot of system work, which you can go through, explore your Fiori. I would quickly mention whatever the things you can do as an exercise for this week. Okay, please explore the system and complete that exercise. So what are the things we need to do this week is, so these are the things you need to do. Explore Fiori, Launchpad, add your business groups from Launchpad, explore Fiori Designer, create catalog business group and role with Fiori Designer, explore Fiori library, check application relevant to your area and make sure it is available in Launchpad. Check front end, back end, OData, dependency, and activations. Then today we have done Fiori Theme Designer, create your own theme, and explore query browser reporting and analytics. Create your custom CDS view with what is the application name? I even forgot. With custom analytical queries. So this is your exercise for today, for this week. This presentation I'm going to convert into a PDF, and that PDF would be available in our site in the session notes area. So when we actually going to upload today's video, with that this PDF also we will put it into the session notes area in our website, so that you can go through it. Okay, guys, if you don't have any other questions or query, we can end our session here for today. Thank you everyone for joining for this week, and we'll get back again next week, and we'll continue our journey. On the master data part, we'll be starting setting up our system, org structure, and other parts. Business partner would be the key things which we'll be covering in our next week. So thank you all for joining. Have a great week ahead. Goodbye for now.